Scorpio, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What is good with you? Weekly check-in time. Time to see what's going on with you guys for the second week of September. So, weekly check-ins are just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. If any of you are in need of a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But I do have a link right down here in the description of this video, okay? All right, let's hop on into this. Let's see what we can tell you about your situation and the person you're dealing with in the second week of September. I keep wanting to say July. I didn't say July, did I? I got July really loud in my head right now for some reason. I don't know why. All right. What can we tell Scorpio? September week 2. Ace of Cups reversed. Well, spoiler alert, no new start in love. Could be unrequited love, too, for some of you. Some of y'all dealing with a fellow water sign. See? All right, y'all. Okay. So you know that this person ain't moving on from this. You know there is a very strong mutual feeling of unfinished business. But for some reason or another, neither of you are taking any kind of action. You know what this feels like to me? And honestly, I think a little bit of it has to do with the fact that you are a fixed sign. It feels like a stubbornness competition. Everybody always likes to engage in stubbornness competitions with the fixed signs. Have you noticed that? I'm a fixed sign too. So, all of us, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, we're all stubborn in our own ways. We're all very fixed-minded, very bullheaded, very stubborn, you know? And that's just how we are naturally. We're not thinking about it. We're not trying to be stubborn. We're not trying to prove a point. That's just how our energy works, you know? Well, a lot of other people, especially cardinal signs, I don't know what it is about cardinal signs that feel, I don't know if you would call it attacked or challenged. They feel like you're challenging them, so they accept the challenge. So they want to be stubborn back. That you're trying to prove a point, which you're not. So they're trying to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? Something along the lines of that is kind of what I'm feeling here. Like a stubbornness competition, you know? And this person's putting on one hell of a show for you. Oh, one hell of a show. Hoping that you're watching, which means you know they watching you. You know they keeping a close eye on you. But they got that guard up. They very guarded. Some of you dealing with a Leo. I also have Aries. Let's see what else I got here. I haven't had a copy of this deck in a couple of years, so I got to get. It's going to take me a minute to get used to it. I got Cancer here. Could be a Cancer for some of you. Okay. Let's see how they feel about you at the deepest level. How does this person feel about Scorpio at the deepest level? Ten of Swords. Yeah. So they're actually at a fucking place of rock bottom, believe it or not. They've hit a rock bottom, they just don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that. So, very guarded. Yeah. And it's hard to describe. I don't think there really is a real deep, profound way to explain this person's feelings and intentions. They're at a place of rock bottom, and they don't want you to know that. They're trying to prove a point. And to prove that point, they ain't going to let you know that they hit rock bottom. You know? Oh, they know exactly what they would say to you if you was to show up in a inbox. And I don't think it's very nice. Of course, they're keeping a close eye on you. Okay. Need I say more? Kind of get the idea, right? All right, well, let's get the advice then, since we're having a stubbornness competition. I got a few things that I want to say, but I'm going to hold off until I see what comes out. What's the advice? Advice for Scorpio. Seven of Pentacles reverse. Yeah, see, Magician reversed. Yep. Okay. All right, let me see what I can do with this here. So, again, keep in mind, the person you're dealing with is trying to prove a point. Okay? So when they're in that mindset, they're trying to wrestle the power dynamic into their hands. They're trying to wrestle the upper hand as far as the power dynamic goes. I know this sounds so stupid, because it is, but somebody walking in that energy, if you do show up in their inbox, they are going to take that as a sign of weakness. Not only are they going to take that as a sign of weakness, but they're going to take full fucking advantage of that. Right? Because it's all about perceived power. Perceived power. So if they think, T-H-I-N-K, think that they have power over you, they're going to use it. They're going to play with it. Now, the question is, so fucking what? You can think in one hand and shit in the other. That doesn't mean you have power over me. Okay, well, that's where we want to be careful. Because then I need you to ask yourself, could this person trigger me if they tried? Just ask yourself that. Just ask yourself that. I don't care what you tell me. Don't care what you tell anybody else. This is a question and a conversation between you and you. If they tried, could they successfully trigger me? If so, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean that you're slow. It doesn't mean that you're stupid. It doesn't mean that you're not spiritual. You know, I could name 4 names right now of people that I will not go around. I will avoid them at all cost. You know why? Because I'm going to knock their fucking teeth out the back of their throat if I see them. That's why. Because they're going to trigger the fuck out of me. So I'm not putting myself in that situation. Does that mean I'm less spiritual? No. The spiritual decision, the spiritual path means I'm aware of my own energy and I act accordingly. If I know you're going to trigger me, I'm not going around you. It's not worth the karma that it would create. It's not worth fucking catching a case. Definitely. You know? It's not worth it. I would rather have my peace, and then, hey, hopefully one of these days I get to a place where I can release that and get to a point where I'm cool and you no longer have that power over me. But yeah, you do have some power over me. You do. You do. And you'll get your fucking jaw broke if I see you. So I'm not coming around you. I'm not putting myself in that situation. That's okay. We're all humans. That doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't make you a stupid person. Ask yourself that and be honest about the answer. If you are genuinely confident that this person could not trigger you if they tried, all I'm saying is go into it knowing that they're going to try. They're going to try. They're going to try. Oh, yeah, they are. Do you think you're solid enough for that? It's just a question. That's not a rhetorical question. I'm not saying that you are or you're not. This is just, you take it and do with it what you will. But just know they're going to try. And I'm going to tell you what right now, if you're not solid enough and you put yourself in that situation and they trigger you, they win. They win. Even in the long run, they win. So, yeah. Just take that information and do with it what you will. All right. Let's see what's coming in for the singles. What's coming in for the single Scorpios? Anything good coming in? Anything bad coming in? Anything coming in at all? Four of Cups. There could be an opportunity around you that you're unaware of, potentially. Eight of Cups. This is either you're not aware of it or you're not interested. Kind of feeling like there's been somebody interested in you for a minute. And I'm just going to leave this up to you. Do you know who I'm talking about? I know some of you immediately say, yup, I know exactly who you're talking about. Okay. If not, though, it doesn't matter anyways. But all I'm saying is that there's some tension building with this situation. Woo, there's some tension building here. There's some tension building here. So my question is, why the hell is this coming through? What's the point of this? Let me see if I can clarify that real quick. Hang on. I hear about this. Eight of Cups again. Ten of Cups reversed. I think it's something that is serving as an energetic blockage, honestly. I think so. So this is where it's going to get a little dicey and a little bit tricky. For those of you who know who I'm talking about, make sure you're laying firm ass fucking boundaries. No, I'm not interested. It's not fucking happening. Right? Make sure you got firm boundaries and a layer of protection around you, energetically. I think This is mainly for those of you who either don't know who I'm talking about, or there's another little subgroup of you in there who know who I'm talking about, but for some reason you're still keeping the person around. Now, that may only be one or two of you, but if you got somebody around you that you know is into you, you ain't into them, but you're keeping them around anyways. This came out for another sign the other day. One of the other signs a couple days ago got a very similar message. You got a lesson to learn. That's going to bite you in your ass. I don't know who needs to hear this. It may only be one or two of you. So if this doesn't resonate, give me a second. I'm talking to the one or two people that it resonates for. If you got somebody you know wants you and you have no interest in them whatsoever, and you're keeping them around just to blow your head up and make you feel better about yourself, that's going to bite you in your ass. That's going to bite you in your fucking ass. That's going to create some drama that is going to teach you a lesson. I don't think that's the majority of you, though. I think the majority of you that need to hear this just need to be made aware that whenever some energy kind of makes its way around you that you're not wanting, make sure that you're putting your foot down on that. Because if you don't, it can and will block the next person from coming in energetically. It absolutely can. And it will, if you don't. And, you know, sometimes that can be a fucking dicey situation to be in, you know? Especially if, like, it's somebody in the friend group or something like that, and you don't want to be rude, you know? I think most of us have been there before. I know I have a couple of times where there's somebody that's really into you, and you don't want to be rude, but you're like, no. You don't want to be rude, though. Come on now. You don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, right? But sometimes people don't know how to read social cues. Sometimes people will invent a fucking relationship with you in their head and believe in it. And unless you come out and say, fuck the fuck off, they're not going to get the picture, you know? And that's a unfortunate situation to find yourself in. But it's for some of you, it might be somebody at the workplace. So I'm trying to see if I can cover all different variations of this situation. But it can and will serve as an energetic blockage. Any energy trying to make its way into your space that you don't actually want there, right? You have no interest in laying a foundation with this person. You have no interest in doing anything romantic with them. You need to make sure that you take full authority over your energetic field and make sure you are rejecting this energy. You know that any energy that you reject has to leave, right? Any energy. Any energy that you do not welcome has to leave, but you have to tell it to. It's just like black magic. Same thing. How many of you are scared to death that somebody's using black magic on you? I hear it all the time. It's the exact same thing. It's no different. The tricky part is identifying a foreign energetic interference. That's the tricky part. But once you get in touch with your energy and you know the difference between your energy and foreign unwanted energy, all you have to do is command it to leave, and it has no choice. It has to follow universal law. Even the lowest, darkest, most evil beings and entities in this game still have to follow universal law. They have to. There's no being, there is no entity in this game that can get away with breaking universal law. And if you believe that there is, you're giving something a lot of fucking power that it doesn't need to have. I'm trailing off a little bit. I don't want to trail off too far on that, but okay. Interesting message. That same message did come through. I think it was Gemini. That came through for another sign a few days ago. That's interesting. Okay, well, how much time do I got? Okay, let's just get the advice. Let's get the advice. If any advice wants to come through that I didn't already give you. It may not. Boo, that's you, boo-boo. That's you right there, boo-boo. All right. So, don't fight the death process. Don't fight it. You're not going to see a change in your life. A big life change is going to involve a death process. Okay? Because in order to make way for fucking blessings, first of all, your blessings are vibrating at a different frequency. The frequency you're tuned into right now has to be shifted out of. As you're shifting out of your old frequency, anything, anyone, any friendship, relationship, family member, job, location, situation, scenario, anything that does not align with the vibration you're shifting to will begin to be pulled away from you. It's natural. It's normal. It is a totally normal, natural part of the path. The evolutionary path, the manifestation path, the spiritual path, the healing path, and you have to allow that process to happen naturally. You will not. You might. Not you could. You will be faced with the decision to let go of something or someone that is a close part of your life. I'm not telling you to go cut everything and everyone out of your life. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's going to fucking happen. Don't fight it. That's what I'm saying. And, like I already talked about the rest of it. Any energy trying to make its way into your field, if you don't want it there, don't allow it. What you allow will persist. If there's some things that are worth fighting for, there's some things that there's not. Your energetic field is worth fighting for. You ultimately, I know it doesn't seem fair and it kind of sucks. This is the way the game goes. You are responsible for your energy. You're responsible for your energetic field. You produce an electromagnetic field that can be measured 10 to 15 feet outside of your body, maybe even farther. You are responsible for the energy in that field. You are. Yeah, sometimes people can throw shit at you that you didn't ask for. Oh well, it's in your field now, you're responsible for it. Just the way it goes. All you got to do is say hello to a stranger in passing at the grocery store. You hook a little energetic thread into that person, they hook one into you. You're responsible for that. You fuck somebody. Oh, goddamn. Now y'all's energies are like a tangled up ball of fishing line. You're responsible for that. You're responsible for your energetic field and what you allow in and what you reject. So do not allow any energy in your field that is going to serve as an energetic blockage. It's really not that hard, honestly. It's not that challenging. Some people like to make it a way bigger thing than it actually is, And the thing that gets me is a lot of people claim to be psychic, They claim to be so spiritually awake, but they act like a complete and total fucking victim to the energy that's in their field, It's like, fucking take control of that shit, Take control of it. Get rid of it. Tell it it has to leave. Take control of your energetic field. Trust your beliefs. Trust your power. If you don't trust and believe that you're the most powerful fucking being in this existence, then you ain't. It doesn't matter how spiritually awake you are. If you don't trust and believe in your own power, it doesn't matter how spiritually awake you are. You ain't gonna be able to do shit in your life. If your energetic field is all clouded and cluttered up with all this shit and you believe you're a victim to it, I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do. It can be challenging, but it's way easier than you think it is. You don't need to make it a much harder thing than it is. It's much easier than you think. It's not hard in the way you think it's hard, right? It is hard in another sense, but not in the way you think. The hard part is identifying it. That's the hard part. Because a lot of these energies that climb up in your field, they creep in there very clandestinely and very covertly. And they slowly overtake your conscious mind from underneath so smoothly and covertly that you don't even realize it's happening. And then before you know it, it's overtaken your conscious mind. You're identifying with it and as it, and basically you're giving it permission to set up shop. Set up shop. And basically use you as a channel. So once you get better at identifying any energy that doesn't need to be in there, then it's much, much easier to reject that. Much easier. Y'all have any idea how many fucking years I've been dealing with people throwing black magic at me? Oh my Christ, dude. I've been dealing with that for 7 fucking years now. Gotten to a point now where I can smell it coming. I can smell it. From a mile away. It doesn't even reach me anymore. It doesn't even get close to me anymore. I smell it coming. It's that easy. As soon as you become aware of your frequency, aware of your energy, and you can tell the difference between your energy and a foreign energetic attack, it ain't shit. So just monitor your energy, monitor your frequency. You're going through a death process. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That means the closing out of an old cycle and the opening of a new cycle, and it is a perpetual unfolding of a new cycle and closing of an old cycle. You're in the middle of it right now, okay? All right, y'all, I feel like those were the messages that my Scorpio family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description, all right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.